What is going on? You are listening to episode 230 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, Hate Zero. What's up, fam?
Hey, what is going on? And what is up, NPC fam? It's your boy, Hate Zero, your hero.
Player 3, Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? It's Crawler coming at you. We're gonna stick with it. Make it work.
We're running it. We're doing it.
Crawler coming at you live.
Did he say crawler?
I don't know what I said.
We'll have to play it back.
I don't know. Chat says it's a little better. They say it's a little better. Well, hey, that music you just heard from On Being Human. Check them out on Spotify and YouTube. And hey, you know I say that every week. I wonder how many of you go and check them out. Go check out On Being Human. They're good dudes. They're fun dudes. They got a podcast. They still do it. They're good guys. Go check them out.
Eating chips.
They might eat chips on their podcast. I can't promise you they don't do that, but they might do that. So, you know, it happens. It happens. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast. And you want to get yourself a free book from Audible? Head on over to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like The Inner Game of Tennis. That's what I've been listening to lately. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's like a...
What's that about, I wonder?
Well, I of course turned it into Mario Tennis, right? So it's not just regular tennis; it's Mario Tennis. And yeah, it's good. It kind of just talks a lot about the way we kind of look at ourselves and the way we handle different scenarios and situations. And I've learned a lot about myself listening to this book. So, The Inner Game of Tennis. It's good. It's good. I recommend. audibletrial.com/NPC. Get it for free. Chair I'm sitting in from Opseat. They got new models available. Head on over to n64josh.com/Opseat. Save $10 at checkout. And let's go to the announcements.
Hey, listen.
Okay, we'll listen. Hey. What I think for our announcements today, I just want you guys to know that I'm creating some music. And I'm having a really good time doing it. So if you head on over to SoundCloud and you type in Until Today, you can hear all 8 of the songs I have up there. And I had an idea today. I'm going to try this. I may have to set up another Twitch channel. I'm not sure. I may set up an Until Today Twitch channel. Because I don't know if I want the music to bleed over with N64 Josh. I may keep them separate.
Okay.
But I think it would be fun to write a song a week, write and record a song a week live on Twitch with the help of the community. Lots of Diary of Jane covers. That's what what chat is asking for.
I think I'm busy.
Look, I'm Until Today everywhere. I got YouTube videos going. I'm doing cover songs plus original songs, music videos, things like that. Go check it out. I'm having a good time with it. I'm having a really good time with it. I bought a new guitar pedal today. It's called a Shimmer Reverb. Oh, baby. It sings. So if you guys like or know what post-rock is, I'm also going to be doing some of that as well. So, yeah. There we go. As far as other announcements, I'm kind of up in the air with Twitch right now. We talked about it a little bit. Like, it's like once you take a break from Twitch, it's a little tough to get back into it because a lot of times your viewer count just kind of like tanks. And to be honest with you guys, my average viewer count has not gone up in over a year. It hasn't gone up in over a year. So I'm kind of thinking it may be time to just stream periodically and focus a little more on YouTube or other things. Because it's a big time investment, Twitch is. And if it's not growing, I don't know what else to do to try to put on a better show, you know? So,
Tough nut to crack.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, I don't know. It's up in the air. I may play some other games. I downloaded Destiny 2 again. I may actually play some.
I saw was that a tweet or was that in Discord? Like,
that was a tweet.
When does the new update come out?
October.
I'm intrigued. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would play it the same way I played it for 3 years, but I'm intrigued to like at least.
I mean, there's
jump back into it a little bit.
bright and shiny game coming out. Little thing called Gears 5.
That's true.
Maybe try your luck on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the shooters, that's for sure, and that's what I've kind of been missing. So who knows? I'm gonna expand my horizons a little bit and see what happens. I'm also in one of those. I'm in a little bit of a rut when it comes to stream games right now because like Fire Emblem. If I try to stream that game, as fun as it is, I said it on stream today. I'll fall asleep because it's single player. My office is hot. I've been up since 2:30 a.m. I gotta play something that's popping. That's why Mario Kart was so great because it was like always always competition, things like that.
You had to lean forward.
You had to lean forward a little bit. Keeps you on your toes. So I don't know. I'm just kind of evaluating things. So I want to give me some feedback, guys. If you come into a stream or whatever, let me know what's up. What maybe don't tell me what you want me to do differently, but tell me what streamers you watch and why you watch them. I want to know. I want to know. So there we go. See if I can't make my content a little bit better. That's the goal.
I will say if you get to a certain point in Fire Emblem, you can have a point where you just get to grind on stream and you can just go battle to battle to battle to battle.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
That might be a little bit more. You don't have to do the story stuff, and you can progress the story stuff maybe off stream or something like that, but you can just do the battles where you're ranking people up, which I was enjoying this past week. That's kind of what I was doing. But
cool. So yeah, there you go. I think we're ready for the news, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. I like giving Crawler the lead on the news. I don't even have the notes open in front of me right now.
I put it together, so yeah, it's only fitting, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, this first one is for our hero, Hate Zero, because what is the one thing that you want to do with your Switch?
Play it on cruises.
Well,
outside in general.
Yeah. And I don't know if this has been tested yet, but I did see, I think somebody posted this in Discord this week. I went and was able to find it with a quick search when I did it on Google again. Kevin Kenson is his name on YouTube. Has a video, and he went and bought a brand new old Switch and a brand new Switch, and brought in I guess another guy from another channel that does stuff when it comes to reading the light output and all sorts of stuff. And the screen apparently is supposed to do a little bit better in direct sunlight. So I think the name of the video, I have it linked here in the show notes, but I think the name of the video is like what Nintendo didn't tell us about the new Switch. Right. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it makes you think with this added battery life, maybe it is worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, and so when you watch the video, they do talk about it. Not only is the brightness slightly higher, it's not a huge jump, so don't think it's going to solve the world's problems. The color representation is supposed to be a little more accurate as well. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's definitely a plus if you're in the market, or your battery's starting to bulge on your old Switch, which I know some people are starting to get. Any of these devices with lithium ions, right? You run that risk. So nothing against Nintendo there. It is what it is. But if you're in the market, I mean, this is a no-brainer that you would want this over the old. And that video actually goes into the Joy-Con revision too, because those did also get slight revision. Again, not significant.
Yeah, I think I saw something from Livestream. I think that when he took his apart, they ended up moving the antenna where he had, because I think he went in and changed his old ones, and he said Nintendo put it exactly where he had moved it to. So he's like, "You're welcome, Nintendo."
Yeah. So not only did they do that, they used like slightly the actual stick itself is like a different part number now.
Spawn wave.
Supposedly. Spawn wave, yeah.
Not Splice Stream.
Oh. Yeah. Right.
So I mean, is this going to fix the stick drift? I don't know. But you have to wonder if the stick drift is as big of an issue as everyone's saying it is, because obviously no one's complaining that their sticks work perfectly. People are only you're only hearing the vocal minority, right? So if Nintendo's willing to fix these for free and not revise the Joy-Cons, they must be a small enough sample size that they don't care about it. That's my guess, but we'll see.
Not quite Red Ring of Death
yet. Did you have
yet.
to pay for shipping, Josh, when you sent yours in?
Mine were under warranty.
Okay, so they covered shipping and everything.
Yeah. This was like I bought a pair of blues and they didn't work out of the box.
Yeah.
So the other thing too that's a little bit confusing with that, like, because a lot of people don't. There's not many people that have that problem now, as far as like the
antenna, the disconnect.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But like, we set it up at my in-laws' house, my brother-in-law's house. The Joy-Cons would not work in the grips. They had too much interference around their entertainment center. Like, we had to have the switch like out front. You couldn't have it behind the TV. Like, it was very, very particular where we needed it. So
yeah,
I've
heard some saying they can't wear their Apple. Play the Joy. Their current configuration. Yeah. So I mean, these things are small. They have small. So can't expect much out of it, but it is a shame that you basically have to be in line of sight of it, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time.
Well, I mean, and that's how it was. You ever try to walk around the house with that thing could not stray far from the home console at all.
No.
Yeah, I when I had the Wii U, I couldn't. So at that point I had a house that had a pretty large like great room. It wasn't the family room and living room style, and I couldn't be on the opposite side of my great room. It was like
too far.
Yeah, it was like 20 feet away. It was too much.
Crazy. Well, speaking of Joy-Con, Best Buy getting an exclusive, at least as far as we can tell right now, in October 27th, double green. So the same, I believe it's the same green that came on the Splatoon Joy-Con. So, but it's just going to be double green for your Luigi fanatics. Yeah. Get that right before. Was that the Friday? Is that the Friday before? No, a little bit soon. That's a weird. No, that is the Friday before Halloween. So yeah, yes. Friday before Halloween. That's when those come out. And I think I don't know if it's that date as well, but the other two announced.
The 27th is definitely a Sunday, so we have something wrong here.
That's typical for Best Buy.
Okay then.
Sometimes with Nintendo accessories, it can be Sundays. So
okay. I think they look cool. I mean, it makes sense to push them out with Luigi coming out. I do think it's a huge miss that they're not glow in the dark. I mean, come on. What better game to have glow in the dark Joy-Cons than Luigi's Mansion?
I mean, they did have an amiibo that glow in the dark, so it'd be nice if they did that with Joy-Con.
Yeah, totally. It would be even cooler if it was just the green and didn't have any apparent glow in the dark, and then all of a sudden it had like stenciled ghosts or something in there that you can only see under light.
Or the
Come on,
Nintendo.
Yeah, do something.
Well, I'll jump around here a little bit on our news rundown here, but the 8-Bit Do's new controller, I have it right here. I know, Kate, you forgot to update your credit card or whatever, and they canceled your pre-order, but I know you're in the market for this. But the new SN30 Pro Plus is what it is called. It, I believe, officially released on Wednesday, and then with Amazon shipping, I got mine on Friday. I've used it a little bit. It sits comfortably, like with the thumbsticks. It feels kind of like a DualShock 4 a little bit. But it's nice having a proper D-pad right there to use, but then also just the added comfort of the triggers. And the real unique thing about this controller is you can download software from 8BitDo, and you can adjust the sticks, the triggers, buttons. You can swap buttons. You can program macros, which is, I think, the most interesting thing.
I think that's going to make this controller illegal in just about any tournament, right?
Yeah. Any kind of fighting tournament, yeah, because you can do a difficult fighting, like a Street Fighter combo or something like that, and it'll be auto inputted just on a button press.
And it also has turbo as well.
Turbo has been on the 8-bit dues from the beginning, and they've always been disabled on the Switch. I don't know how that works, mainly because this whole thing is software side. So you plug it into your computer, you can do these changes on buttons and stuff, and then it saves the profile on your controller. And so I haven't messed around with it a ton, but I know that you would then save it onto your controller and then be able to use it on the different devices that you're able to. So it's right now, I think hopefully soon it will be compatible with iPhone, because I know iPhone is adding in Bluetooth controller support here. They had it once upon a time, now it's coming back. But the Switch and PC and Mac and Android, and then hopefully, again, like I said, when iOS adds their compatibility with Bluetooth controllers back in, that will be something you can use that as well. So you can play your Fortnite on your phone with your 8-bit do.
Or you could play it on your Switch with your.
Or you could
do.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I'd recommend. But you do you.
Probably runs better on your phone. That's not shade. That's truth. Okay,
that is truth.
That's facts.
I mean, well, you pair with people playing on their phone anyway on Switch. That's the two player pool that the Switch is pulling from. I think now it's phone players and Switch players. So
I'm just assuming my iPhone X has a better processor and whatnot than the.
Yeah.
Might run at 60 frames. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows? Maybe. You never know. So games possibly coming to Switch. How about No Man's Sky? Is that something that would intrigue you guys come to Switch?
Slightly less than 0. No, I'm just kidding. I thought that game looked cool.
We hate all games. Just leave them off the Switch. We have enough.
Yeah, we don't want them. Keep them over there on your X-Bone.
Yeah.
Or is that a PS4 exclusive? I don't remember.
It was a PS4 exclusive, and then it eventually came out on Xbox. But yeah.
Okay. So I thought that game looked cool and had a ton of promise. Unfortunately, it looks like it fell well short of everyone's expectations. But I've also heard that it's gotten quite a bit better since launch. So depending on if we get, post-patch, post-content version on Switch, yeah, I would check it out. I mean, why not? But that's one I'd probably very much wait for a review before I spent the $60 price tag on that, which I'm guessing it would be.
Yeah, we don't want a Ark Survival Switch.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this game was overpromised and underdelivered when it first came out on PlayStation. I think it upset quite a few people, and the internet pitchforks came out for the Hello Games game director or whatever. I don't know if he owns the company as well, but yeah, he's expressed that he has interest in bringing the game to the Switch, and I think when it launched on Xbox, they had done a big update, which brought a lot of people back and praised them for fixing it. So, I mean, it's kind of those games as a service that get fixed later on that quietly make it a much, much better game, and too few people hear about it and play it. But
it's tough, though. I mean, just about with anything, too. If you've got such a short window in this day and age we live in to capture someone's attention. If you don't strike while the iron's hot, like you're totally gonna miss it. People, maybe very few games still keep, people are still playing WoW, so obviously this isn't everybody, but with all the games and content you get, like how often do people spend 1,000 hours in games anymore? You might do it in your one, like someone's still playing Destiny 2, right? But that's all they're playing. They're not double dipping, they're not triple dipping.
Yeah, that's how I was when I was playing Destiny. I let a lot of games go by the wayside, and it kind of bothered me sometimes. But
yeah,
you're focusing on one thing.
Had you played No Man's Sky, maybe that could have taken you away from Destiny, but that initial launch, you would have said, "This is not worth me leaving Destiny," and you would have never went back to it.
Yep.
So it's a tough one. I mean, you've got such a short, small opportunity to capture people.
For sure.
Putting it
How
on
about
the
you,
Switch is the way to do that, though.
Yeah.
That is the Switch is like the second chance
It
for,
is.
for old games. I mean,
Yeah.
you
It
know,
makes me wonder how that game would work though, because I don't know if that is because it's procedurally generated. I think it just it creates the world around, and I don't know if it has to be
Right.
connected. If it would be a subpar game, without online, like Mortal Kombat 11 can play on the Switch and you can play it, but a lot of features are missing if you aren't docked or at home on your Wi-Fi to connect to the internet. And the game struggles when you suspend it and bring it back up. It disconnects. So how would that game function in handheld, like away from your house? I guess there's lots of questions to be answered when it comes to that.
Steep couldn't do it.
Yeah, neither can the Doom remakes or Doom 2.
They fixed that, I think. But
That's
I
news
saw-
to me.
do you have it? You have it downloaded, don't you?
Yeah, just the first Doom.
Yeah,
And you know what's really frustrating about that? So for the most part, the thing I love most about Switch is the pause. Doom broke that feature. You
How so?
can't suspend Doom, come back to it. It breaks your link to Bethesda net, and when you come back to the game, no inputs work. So you have to force quit the game
No.
and reload it. Like this game's from 1992 or something.
93. Yeah.
Come on,
Oops.
man. Like it wasn't. There's no need to make Bethesda net a requirement. Get out of here.
They said they were going to remove it. I don't
They
know.
did say that, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how quickly that was fixed, but I mean, they did release all these games back on. They put them on Xbox. I don't know if they came out on PlayStation yet or not, but they came out on Xbox and Switch all on the same day. And I guess if it's old enough, they can save as Switch version. Yes, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Can't spend.
Is Doom 3 the Xbox game? It is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Does it have the multiplayer where one person has to hold the flashlight?
I
I'm not
don't
sure.
know.
Not sure about that.
I'll pull up the eShop real quick to see what it says. If it says multiplayer.
You know what? I don't think it does, but on the original Xbox, because I looked at it earlier, that's why I was confused about it. I think it said one player. And so on the original Xbox, our buddy, Demonic Jawa, shout out to Nick, him and I were playing this game, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying. And the only way to have the flashlight out is one person has to hold just the flashlight, and you got to trust the other guy to protect you. And I would always make him run up to the door and then open
He has to be
it.
the first one without weapons?
And I would run back and just watch him scream and run towards me. Like
it does say one player on the eShop.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just like Turok 2. I was kind of disappointed that Turok 2 wasn't supporting multiplayer.
Why not? Like, I want to cerebral bore you guys so bad. I mean, I love you, but still, cerebral bores are fun, man. It's fun. If you don't know what that is, kids, that's a gun that fires a heat-seeking missile into your brain and spews your brain matter everywhere. Yeah.
Well, something that resembles
gray matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. That single player is still pretty solid, though.
Yeah, and that's on sale right now through almost the end of the month, I think, is what the date I saw on that. So it's like $4 off right now. Turok 2 just came out last week.
And Jay Harley just said that it looks like Doom fixed the issue. So
you might need to update or something like that.
Yeah, I might need to pull an update, which is good. I mean, I'm happy about that because I was, I played that game so much growing up. I still remember like the first 4 levels, every secret, because as a kid, like I would just start over and run for as long as I could and start over. And after a while, you learn like every wall you can open. And if you go past a certain point and then turn around, it'll unlock something else, and so it immediately brought back all that nostalgia. So I'm excited to play it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think companies need to recognize their market on the Switch, and that nostalgia is a strong factor when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
Our last bit here is something that I think a lot of different outlets picked up, and I saw it come across maybe something even on my Facebook feed. I think that I saw this pop up first. But this is a first person, like, point and click adventure mode on Mario Maker, and I have the level code here in the show notes, and then also an article that has the code as well. But it's like a 3D maze house, and the creator, it's I think a Japanese account that made it, so I can't read all the writing that's there with it. But I did download it, and so I don't know what the description says in the level. But on the level, it has some descriptors on like what floor you're on, and then in the top half of the screen, kind of on the left hand top half side of the screen, it's like forced perspective that shows, I don't know how they use some of this artwork to make it look like a hallway that had a straight or a left, or a straight and a right, and stairs on one of them, and you use pipes that you're at on the there's pipes and doors on the right hand side that you use to kind of be your point and click adventure through. You got to collect 3 red coins. So it was interesting. I played it. I didn't try to like run through it really quick, but it's interesting to look at. It's been making its rounds on IGN and Vice and all sorts of Game Explain. I don't know if Game Explain picked it up, but lots of different outlets picked it up. So it's interesting to play it. It got me to put the game back in and play it just for a little bit, just to check it out.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm interested in seeing that for sure. So is that going to do it for the news?
Yep.
All right, let's get to the talking points. I got some fun stories.
Here we go!
Okay, so last Thursday, I went to see my friend Javier. Javier I met in the Destiny community. We've been with the first Destiny meetup that I went to in Seattle. I think that's where we met. And, we went to E3. Met up at E3 the first time I was there, where we were at Guardian Con together, and then we saw each other again at this E3, and he lives right here in Seattle, and I'm like, we gotta just like, let's hang out. Like, I spend so much time staring at these screens doing this that I'm like, I've gotta get out, right? So I went big, right? Because that's just the way I do it. Okay, so mind you, I went to work. I got up at 2:30 in the morning on Thursday. Okay, went to work, worked my 10 hours. Then I went and met with him at 7. We had the best ramen I've ever had. Super good. Super good. It's a chain ramen place. The only other 2 restaurants are in Japan. The other one is one is in Seattle. So good. Those soft-boiled eggs, let me tell you, that's like candy. Wow. So good. All right. So we have ramen, and then we go and hit up a bar, and we're just hanging out. And these 3 guys show up, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are from Luxembourg. I met them last night." I was like, "Okay." So we're hanging out with these guys, and then 2 more people show up, and we're just all hanging out. It's a good time. We're all chatting. Well, then they're like, wait, we want to go dancing, right? I'm like, right, I'm not going dancing. This is cute, but no.
Night's getting interesting.
Yeah. So we go to this place in Seattle called Rebar, and there's a DJ, there's dancing, and I'm like, there's beer on tap. Okay, cool. I'll have a drink and just hang out.
Be a wallflower. Just
do my thing.
Yeah.
And people still tried to dance with me. I literally felt like I was walking into Mass Effect. I was like, what is happening right now?
Like, were you trying to figure out like what dialogue makes this go away?
Exactly. I literally thought it was Mass Effect. So, okay. So I sit down. There's a point to all this, right? I sit down with one of these guys from Luxembourg, and we're talking video games a little bit. And he goes, I had a Game Boy. I was allowed to play it once a year when we went on a family trip.
That's it?
Huh?
Once a year. Okay.
Why buy a kid that?
I don't know. Once a year, he he tells me that on the trip, because the games are in English, they don't know that they have to save. So every time they play Pokemon, they start over again. They had no idea they could continue on and actually beat the game because they couldn't read English. So yeah, chat's like, oh no.
That's a rough one too. Like, if you're
Also-
only playing it once a year and you can't, that's tough. That's brutal.
I forget how to play a game after like a week or two if I don't play it.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
so did you strike a chord with him with your 45-minute time limit or whatever with your NES?
Oh, I don't. We just. I
give him one of your Game Boys out of pity.
no. I should have. So, yeah. So, here this poor guy's like, yeah, we never. Him or his brothers or none of his siblings. Nobody knew that they could save. Right.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Every time they started this game, once a year, it was a fresh start. It was a fresh start, and not even once a year. If they were on the trip, they would just shut it off. They said so. Then they would turn it
every
back
time.
on.
Start
Every
over
time.
every day.
So-
That's a lot of getting your starter Pokemon every time.
Oh man, that would have been the worst game. Pokemon would have been the worst game. How many times do you want to start that again?
Carmen in chat saying it hurts. It hurts.
It does. Poor
Oh
guy.
my gosh.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. Getting to hang out. I got home at 5 a.m. that morning. Like,
First of all, I think you're too old for 5 a.m.s. Like, I don't think you should be seeing 5 a.m.s. Second of all, I just want to point out, you're talking to this guy about Game Boys when you're in a club and all you're hearing is like, and you guys are over there
Yes.
like talking about Game Boy. Like,
Well, I mean, at first
perspectives.
we were just like, like I was like, tell me about yourself, like we were just chatting, right? But then when Javier introduced me, he's like, oh, this guy has a Nintendo podcast. Okay, so then that like got like that's what got the
that brought up his bad memories.
yes, that brought up the bad memories, and then he was like, you've got to tell this story on your podcast. I want to listen. So there you go, there you go. The other funny thing is when that bar said, hey, it's 2, you're out. Like, they just take drinks out of people's hands. Well, these guys were not used to that at all. So they had like 3/4 of their drink left, gone. Like, they're just like,
I'm not used to that. I've never heard of that before.
That's weird.
yeah, they don't mess. They give like a 10-minute, like, you better finish your drink or it's gone. So, yeah. Okay. My target strikes again. So some of you guys, if you've listened for a long time, you remember when I got my 2DS XL, they had just launched the orange and cream or whatever, orange and white creamsicle.
Oh yeah, you got it on super sale.
And they had it clearance the week it came out at $79.99, the same price as a regular 2DS. Like, I remember taking it to the counter. I'm like, you guys are sure about this price? They're like, yeah, we're sure.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, whatever. I'm
Like,
buying
quit
it
talking
then.
to us.
Yep.
Get out of here.
So I buy it. Great deal.
Yeah.
This is an end cap, mind you. This is like the end cap when you walk to the electronics section. Well, GameStop has yet to ship my special edition Fire Emblem. Has yet to ship. Okay, so it's pre-ordered. I'm pretty positive I've been charged for it. It says it has not shipped. So I'm thinking, great, I'm not going to get this now. I collect the steel books. I was kind of bummed out by it, right? I walk into Target to that end cap, and there sits the special edition. The guy goes, oh, I just put that out, and it's $70 because it's a return? A return, because it was online only. It was a return. Hadn't been opened. The packaging's not perfect. There was a little tear, and but other than that, I got the
Wow.
I got the special edition for $70.
Wow.
That's better than my price that I got with Gamer Club.
Right. I could not believe it. So there they go. Target strikes again. Pretty.
Maybe I need to hang out at Target more. Well, one, I need to find this magical end cap.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. They just love to throw clearance stickers on everything. So, yeah. But I don't know. We got some. Those are my stories I had to share with you guys. Little story time. But we got a couple talking points. EA has kind of been in the been in the news as of recent, and so Crawler, what's been said?
Well, so I have an article here from Kotaku, and this was, I think, sometime last week that this dropped and was kind of the biggest hotness to talk about. But in a few words, the head of EA says that they don't want to make games for the Switch because their data shows that the consumers of their games don't want to buy it on Switch. Which, if you think about it, what has EA put out? They put out 2 subpar FIFA games.
Yep.
Anything else? I'm trying to think.
Unraveled,
which
yeah.
I think, which they don't really profit from a whole lot because it's a EA original or whatever, the independent studio thing. But that was people were calling for that to be on the Switch from the beginning, and then that came out, I think, this last year. But yeah, they've done a very small sample size when it comes to it, and I don't know, countless people have said, put the Mass Effect trilogy on Switch. I would buy it again. Put Sims. Sims is something that is extremely popular with the non-hardcore kind of clientele of video games that would buy that game, I think, if they could take it with them and go around with it.
Yeah. Although I'm not a fan of it, the Dragon Age series is EA, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
I mean, that game has a pretty strong following, and I feel like that would do very well on the Switch.
I mean, they have the Star Wars license. I don't know what EA's involvement is in the Star Wars pinball coming out here in September, but they might have a small play there. But they own Star Wars franchises. Figure something out. Get games out on the Switch, because if anything, it's been proven that people will double dip. How many people bought Skyrim again because they could take it around with them? Bethesda got in early on the floor with when it came to like the dev kits when they went out, and Bethesda went to Nintendo and said they wanted to be involved with this, and they went all in, and they have a game coming out later. Well, they already had a game come out just a week and a half ago or whatever, and they have another game coming out later this year, day and date with the other consoles.
Yeah.
It is a subpar version usually that most outlets would tell you to, if you have a way to play it on a different console, to play it there. But a lot of people maybe only have I don't know. I feel like they're put and not taking into account what really could be the potential for what probably is just wanting to avoid cost.
Yeah, I just find it crazy. Like, there's certain games that, even if not, and it is a part, will double dip earlier. Madden, obviously, as long as the gameplay is similar, the graphics are from years ago. Nobody cares because they just Madden. They want to practice. NFL players, they want to play Madden too.
Mm-hmm.
Buses, planes, I don't understand why they don't see that one. Another one, it's rumored they're going to be announcing Need for Speed here in a couple days. Maybe we can't get a spot version of this next gen Need for Speed that they're going to announce, but people have been crying for them to remake or port Underground 2, or
Yes.
what's the other one? Carbon.
Mm-hmm.
So, bring one of those to the Switch. Say, hey, we're bringing Need for Speed Ultimate, whatever the new one's called, to Xbox and PS4. Switch owners, we got you. Here comes Need for Speed Carbon. People have been frothing for that, and you could sell both copies. People would be super happy. Like, I just feel like these are no brainers, and it's very short sighted of EA to not have adopted the Switch. The install base already huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to grow. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the first year that they did FIFA, they didn't even include. I think there was a main story mode that they didn't include, and they didn't include multiplayer. And then they fixed that. They fixed that a little bit the next year, but I don't even know if they had. It was limited in some capacity. They realized their mistake when it came to limiting the game that was they put out.
Yeah.
But it was surprising that they.
Where did they get this data from? That's what I want to know. Like, did they send out a poll to people while they're playing their PS4 and they're like, would you buy this game on the Switch also? And they're like, no, I'm a PS4 purist. Like, I wonder if there's some backlash from the Wii U and the money that was lost there because they were early adopter for that. I'm not sure how much money they've made on Nintendo's handhelds as far as like the 3DS and things like that, but I know they have versions of Sims games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have Madden on my 3DS. I've always looked for a great Madden game on handheld, even PSP and stuff. I was hoping, and none of them. They always seem to kind of fall short. None of them were. The Switch is finally the chance for Madden to be great handheld. Like, they could give us dumbed down versions of it. People would still buy it. They could give us the 360 versions of these games just with updated rosters. Skate is a game that they could revamp on the Switch.
Even if they didn't bring Skate 4, just bring Skate 1, 2, or 3 to Switch, and that's an instant buy. If you put that at $20, you're going to sell millions.
Yeah.
The community loves it. And again, that's one of those things that people would double dip on, because when I'm at a skate park, which I'm too old to be at a skate park, let's be honest.
Playing your Switch Lite, like they
right?
did in the
You know what I
yeah.
exactly. So you can't do that on PS4 and Xbox.
Jay Harley in chat says I'd take Skate on anything.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Like,
and that's the thing we were talking about earlier. Is nostalgia is playing strong into the Switch's wheelhouse, and EA has a back catalog that could benefit from that. Which the cost to produce something for Switch, especially something that's already made, has a cost associated with it, but it's something that is made that you just have to go to one of those port houses.
Yeah.
Panic Button is, I think, probably too much on their plate, but I'm sure there's studios out there that know how to do it, and then you just have that cost, and then the added Switch tax. So you can sell a 10-year-old game for $30,
yeah,
and call it good and make a profit on it.
And the engine may not be scalable. So like NBA 2K, I had the Switch version and the Xbox One version. Obviously the Xbox One X is running it at 4K 60 frames. It looks phenomenal. The Switch version is probably 540 and 30 frames. But you know what? The gameplay is totally playable. It's almost identical in a gameplay perspective. The modes are all there. The My Player, you create your own player and bring them up through the ranks. That's all there. So I don't know if the Madden engine's not scalable because it was custom built or something now, but if NBA 2K can do it, I don't see why EA can't do it with their sports titles. Jay Harley saying NHL. That's another one that I feel like people would like to have that on a go. You'd like to play that on a school bus. You'd like to play it wherever.
Well, even some other titles, the Battlefield games, right? Like the ones that were on the 360. Those are great. I mean, I know they're ports, but like, don't even put them out physically. Just do a digital release of these things. Yeah. Right? I mean, they're not, it's like they're going to take up that much space.
Well, and the biggest thing is look at what Bethesda's done. They put out 3 games last week that are on the top 10 of the download charts on the eShop. They are there. It's a game from 1993 and 1996 and whatever year Doom 3 came out, but like they are older games that are only coming digital. If you want to have a physical thing, let Limited Run or Super Rare handle that for you, and they'll tack on that cost that they do with that. But there is the overhead when it comes to just putting out something digital that people want to buy. As long as you don't make it massively huge that eats up space on your Switch to download, it's not that people want to do it, especially if you make it a reasonable price. And then if you're doing it digital, then you don't have to add that unnecessary Switch tax with the $10 extra for the cart.
And if they want to keep it in EA fashion, they could just sell the physical copy 2 months later.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other thing I wonder about too, it may be a little bit of a licensing fiasco, but put the Rogue Leader games on the Switch. Rogue Squadron, you know, those, I mean, you got the 64, you got Battle of Naboo, you've got you know, is it Rogue Squadron, Rogue Leader 2? I can't remember the names are, but you got 2 and 3.
And I don't even know how all that works because they're available on Steam all the time. So there's got to be something to get those licensed and out.
Yeah.
They're available on Steam all the time for super cheap. I just bought Pod Racer on Steam on sale. If they put that on Switch, we could have especially do online stuff.
That's
like,
what chat says right there. They're like,
yeah.
Chat's like, yeah, episode 1 Racer. Like there's
and they got Joy-Cons. They could do. How awesome would that be to do did you ever do the
night?
Well, no, but did you ever do the controller in port 1 and port 3 on episode 1 Racer where you could do like the thrust like Anakin in the movie? You have Joy-Con, you could sit there and do this.
He's moving his arms for you listeners.
Get on it, EA.
Yeah,
do
he's
it.
moving his arm.
Crawler's never been that excited about his intro, but he just got so excited about it.
It clicked, man. It clicked.
He just realized what the Joy-Cons could
It's
be
working.
worthwhile for.
It's working.
It's working.
Yeah, there's a ton of games they're able, like the Burnout series.
Oh my gosh,
people
yes.
have been killing for a Burnout, right? You know, you could just they could do a lazy port of the original 3 or however 4 that there were. And
3 Burnout or whatever was the Takedown. I think that was the best one.
Oh, the crash
they
mode.
would sell. I mean, yeah. It blows my mind. I mean, the UFC games.
Yep.
You know, those would be still supremely popular.
Those kind of struggled back on the Xbox, but
well, I mean,
I loved them, but I also got pretty good at it, and so like not a lot of my friends wanted to play because I'm like, okay, did you guys learn how to grapple? They're like, no, I just box. I'm like,
there were so many buttons in that.
Yeah, you had to like.
Nobody wants to grapple. All we want is to play Fight Night.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Like,
just bring Fight Night round 3.
I play the UFC games essentially like a Conor McGregor or a Nate Diaz. Like, I don't want to do any of that ground stuff. This isn't a wrestling match. Let's go out there and fight night.
Yeah,
but that's another game that they could bring back. Like, I just find it crazy that they would say that their data shows people would rather play their games on other consoles. I don't know where. I would like to see that data. I'd like for them to release that data.
Yeah, I don't know if they're just basing it off of the stuff they've sold on Switch or comparatively to how it's sold on other consoles, which is not fair as well because the Switch is 3 years behind in development cycle than all the other ones. They've also done their fair amount of like background buildup with the EA Access on Xbox. So a lot of people, I think, consume, if they have both Xbox and PlayStation, might consume their games more on Xbox and or Xbox and Switch. I mean, if you have access to get it early with more stuff, then yeah, you're going to take it on something that looks better, but they're not taking into factor the intangibilities of the Switch when you can take it with you. And being able to play a full release game in your pocket or on vacation just because you're able to bring your dock with you. Yeah, I mean, it adds to that marketability for it.
SSX Tricky, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a Nintendo
Oh,
game. If you think about it, that screams Nintendo, right?
That was
Yeah.
GameCube, right? Or 64 and then GameCube?
Yeah, I know for sure GameCube.
It was,
It was also on
I don't think
Xbox as well,
It
but-
was PlayStation. The first one was PlayStation, and then maybe 3 and Tricky came to GameCube. I don't remember.
Yeah. So,
right.
But yeah, I mean that any of those games, and EA as a company just went away from so many good series that they could bring back, and I just wish they would. But in the meantime, give us some of these ports. You don't have to put a lot of work into it, and I can't see them not being a good return on investment.
no, and they have shooters. The Switch is lacking in that department. Like, if they could get some of those old Battlefield games, even the older ones, like 1942 or whatever, bring that in, give big multiplayer. Like, people would probably be on board. The other thing that makes me question this line of thinking from them is, how did they get their investors to be like, oh yeah, the data must show? Like, somebody's got to be like, you guys have seen some of the other reports, right? Like, these games would sell. Like, I can't believe there's not investors pressuring them to get these games out. Because the other thing is, $5 a month gets you so many games from EA on the Xbox that, like, that can't be making them all that much money, right? Like, it
Yeah.
Well, I question how Xbox makes money with Game Pass, but I mean, if they're banking on enough people just doing it and they have your money up front, then it makes it worthwhile, and you don't truly own it, then that's how they're making their money.
Yeah,
it's that digital storefront that doesn't have the overhead associated with it.
And I see, like, EA, like, they're doing games that are a year old or whatever, so it's like, that kind of makes sense, because there's not going to be a lot of people still going out and purchasing that game. But if I can download it for free, that, or for $5 a month, right? I mean, that's my daughters play Sims. That's the only game. I pay $5 a month so they can play Sims right now. You
can download the UFC 3 or whatever at this point, right?
I got to. Yeah, the old Xbox is going to start getting some more playtime, I think. So
I think that's good. Spread the love.
Balance it out a little bit. So, all right.
The love. Help give EA that data that we don't want them to have.
Right.
Where you play UFC on the Xbox, but not on the Switch. Hey, Josh, would you play UFC on the Switch, or would you prefer to play it on your Xbox?
I'd play it on the Switch, of course.
Anymore, I enjoy the comfort of my Pro controller a lot more than the Xbox controllers I have that are falling apart. I mean, I'd rather play stuff on my Switch.
That's the way it goes. Let's wrap this thing up. Hey, Eric, where can people find you?
You will find me on Discord. Join our community. Tell them Crawler sent you. n64josh.com/Discord will show you what you need to know about there. You can also follow me on Twitter. Sometimes I'll say something funny or post a picture of Perrier. So yeah, there you go.
And Crawler.
Same place, hanging out in Discord. Come talk games. We've been talking about Smash and other stuff with hey, we forgot to talk about that. Super Smash Con was interesting. Go check out the results there. That was fun to watch. But yeah, and then also on Twitter and Twitch, Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E.
There you go. Guys, I'm N64Josh everywhere. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all the places. You can follow me if you would like. And if you want to follow the show, it's at NPowercast. I don't know that I ever tweet from that account, though. I don't think I do. I don't think I ever do. So there you go. But you can still follow it if you want to. Show notes for this episode, n64josh.com/npc230. If you got it, you want to email the show, npc@n64josh.com. You can check out your emails. You want to get yourself a free book from Audible, head on over to audibletrial.com/npc. Pick up the Inner Game of Tennis. It's a good one. n64josh.com/opseat automatically saves you $10 at checkout if you would like to get yourself a gaming chair. I love these chairs. Highly recommend. That's enough. That's just enough. I think there's a Patreon, but Patrick Murphy says he never tweeted from the account until today. Oh my gosh. I think he's making fun of my new band name. Subcult in chat. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. How are you? So, yeah. Guys, we do this show Monday nights. 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're kind of being loosey-goosey with it because that way there's just not a lot of pressure. Because we don't need the pressure.
Hey, who needs pressure?
Yeah. I'm going to be streaming some other games other than just Nintendo stuff on my Twitch coming out. Still going to be playing music on there as well. Unless I change the branding up. Who knows? We might do that. So, yeah, go check out my new stuff. SoundCloud. Until space today. Put that space in there. It helps. It helps. Helps with the search engine optimization. So, this is Patrick Murphy, This Island Life. This is Island Life. Yeah, pretty much. That's what this is. This is Island Life. We just, we'll start when we start. We'll arrive exactly when we plan to. All right, guys. We love you. Thanks for listening. Bye now. It's midnight for some of these guys in chat.
You all are all crazy. You know what sucks is Diary of Jane's now stuck in my head. It's been in my head this entire episode. I hate it. I hate it. Something's getting in the way. Something's just about to break. Like, it's one song, Josh.